Hello students, welcome to another exciting creative writing class from ExamPadi. Today's topic is recount writing, and at the end of our class we will be able to 1. Provide a comprehensive explanation encompassing the meaning, organization and distinctive traits of recount writing. 2. Write story recount with a clear introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. 3. Mention the various tips or steps employed in writing a good story recount. 4. Create unique story recount that demonstrate imaginative ideas using the 5 pillars of recount writing. A story is a description of imaginary people and events, which is written or told to entertain. A story recount is a type of writing or narrative that focuses on retelling an event or a series of events in the order in which they occurred. It typically focuses on describing what happened, who was involved, where and when it took place, and how the event unfolded. A story recount can be based on real-life experiences, such as personal narratives or historical events, or it can be entirely fictional. The purpose of a recount is to inform, entertain, evaluate, or educate. And a story recount can focus on a specific section of an event or retell the entire story. The events in a recount are usually related to the reader in a chronological order, that is, in the order in which the event happened. Now let's look at some types of story recount. 1. Personal narrative. This type of recount focuses on a personal experience or event from the author's perspective. It retells activity in which the writer has been personally involved, and it makes use of details, emotions, and reflections. Examples of personal recounts include diaries, journal entries, personal letters, and so on. 2. Historical recount. Historical recount involves retelling events from the past, typically focusing on significant historical moments such as wars, revolutions, or important discoveries. 3. Fictional story recount. A fictional story recount involves recounting events from a fictional story or novel. It may involve summarizing the plot, describing key scenes, or retelling the story from a specific character's point of view. 4. News report. This type of recount presents events or incidents in a factual manner, providing details such as who, what, where, when, why, and how. News report is an objective recount. Its purpose is to inform the reader about current or recent events. 5. Procedural recount. A procedural recount records the steps in an investigation or experiment, thereby providing the basis for reported results or findings. A procedural recount records events such as a science experiment or a cooking session. 6. Biographical recount. This involves retelling the life story of a particular person, focusing on key events, achievements, and experiences that shaped their life. 7. Travelogue. A travelogue recounts a person's journey or travel experience. It typically describes the places visited, the sights seen, and the experiences encountered along the way. 8. Autobiography. An autobiography is a recount of one's own life story, usually written in a book form. It covers significant events, achievements, relationships, and personal experiences. 9. Literary recount. A literary recount retells a series of events for the purpose of entertainment. A literary recount is like a factual recount in many regards. Both provide details about what happened, including who was involved, when, and where the event occurred, and what may have resulted. A literary recount can be about real or fictional events and characters. Now, let's look at the structure of a recount writing. When writing a recount story, it is important to follow a clear structure to ensure consistency and engage the readers effectively. Here is a typical structure for writing a recount story. 1. Title. Story recounts should begin with an attention-grabbing title, providing a clear indication of the subject matter and captivating the reader's interest. 2. Open paragraph. The open paragraph acts as an introduction. It should state the setting and background of the story recount for the reader. It should also explain the who, what, when, and where of the experience in your introduction. 3. The body. A story recount makes use of past tense verbs, and one must give the details of the event in a chronological order. Events are described in the sequence in which they occurred, and they can take up to 2 or 3 paragraphs. When constructing the body of your composition, you have the freedom to use words such as first, next, soon, during, after, later, eventually, finally, and so on. 4. Conclusion. In the final paragraph of the recount, the writer can provide some sort of evaluative comment on what they think or how they feel about the events they have just related. Let's look at the features of recount writing. In writing a story recount, here are a few features you might want to include in your work. 1. The tense. First and third person points of view are used most frequently, and recount is always written in the past tense. Present tense can be used for analysis and opinion. 2. Nouns. Use proper nouns to refer to specific people, places, times, and events. 3. Voice. Both active and passive voice is used in story recounts. 4. Connectives. Use conjunctions and connectives to link events and indicate time sequence. Whether a story is shared orally or in writing, stories have the ability to shape our understanding of the world, evoke emotions, and create lasting impact on our lives. Therefore, it is important to utilize the appropriate structure or elements in writing to effectively convey the intended meaning. Thank you for learning about the meaning, types, and structure of recount writing with me. Join me in our upcoming video as we analyze the tips to writing a great story recount. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.